Hello, dear traders. Tomorrow the new week starts, and, in this video, we will have an analysis of the Forex and crypto market based on economic news and events and technical analysis. I hope you had a profitable last week, and after a good weekend, you will have successful trades in the coming week. I emphasize again that don't forget capital management, money management, and risk management. Because the market is always accompanied by unforeseen events. What guarantees your success and profitability in the long term is capital management, money management, and risk management. We will start the Forex analysis in the next week by looking at the economic calendar in last week. Looking at the economic calendar last week, we see that the currency pairs for which we predicted positive news did not happen as positively as expected. For example, for the euro against the Swiss franc, we predicted a positive 18 points, but only a positive 7 points happened, and for the US dollar against the Canadian dollar, we predicted a positive 14, but only a positive 8 happened. But at the bottom of the table, it can be seen that for the currency pairs that we predicted negative economic news, economic events proceeded in such a way that almost the same amount of negative news as predicted happened. For example, for gold, you can see that we predicted a score of -12, and almost the same negative score happened with the announcement of the actual value of the economic parameters, and we saw a drop in the price of gold. We have had similar for other currency pairs such as silver, the Australian dollar, and various cryptocurrencies against the US dollar. Looking at the important economic news last week, it can be seen that the British pound had two events for the flash manufacturing PMI and the flash services PMI. In both cases we saw an increase in the value of the British pound, which made the currency stronger. It is natural that currency pairs that have the British pound in their first part have also strengthened. Regarding the Canadian dollar, we had three important news related to the CPI. In two cases, we saw a decrease in the value of this currency, and in one case, an increase in the value of the Canadian dollar. Before we look at next week's economic news, we take a look at the news and economic events of the US dollar and analyze the DXY index. As you can see, in the last week, important economic news, in general, increased the strength of the US dollar, and we can see the same in the chart of the DXY index, which had a good increase in the last week and reached the top of the range that was reached in the week. We mentioned it in the past. Now we have to see what may happen to the US dollar from this week onwards. Let's go to the economic calendar in the coming week. You can see that we don't have any important economic news in the coming week, and as a result, the scores for different currency pairs are not high. At the top of the table, we have the Australian dollar compared to the New Zealand dollar and the euro compared to the US dollar with a positive 3 points. At the bottom of the table, we have the Canadian dollar against the Swiss franc with -5 points. In general, it can be said that the most important news this week is the ISM Services PMI, which will be announced on Friday and can have a relatively important effect on the value of the US dollar. Since we don't have any important economic news in the coming week, we go to the impact of the economic news of the past month on different currencies, and we see that the US dollar had the most positive news with a positive of 6 points, followed by the Swiss franc, the euro, the Japanese yen, and the British pound also had positive economic news. On the other hand, the Australian dollar and the New Zealand dollar were negative. According to the analysis done on the economic calendar, we go through some currency pairs that we think can be attractive in the coming week. Thank you for your attention. I hope you have a profitable week ahead. You can visit the PORAJ Forex Academy website to be informed about the latest economic news and events and also get good buy and sell signals on different currency pairs. Don't forget to subscribe us and follow the economic news on the PORAJ Forex Academy website.